school. And my younger daughter's a sophomore. And so when I look out across here, I'm looking at them. Because I'm very, very concerned. Because as was just mentioned about being constituents, I tell you, when I look out at all you, I look at all my bosses. I got about 630,000 plus bosses in 16 counties. And I represent from the Indiana line down from Williams County down to Mercer County, all the way across to Ashland County to the Wayne Medina County line. It's about 140 miles east and west. So what I try to do in the time that we were off, I try to be in 2 counties a day. So this morning I started in Wasion for my first meeting at 7 o'clock, and I just worked the day through there, and then down here in Henry County. And then tomorrow I'm in Lucas and Wood County, I think, and then Sandusky County tomorrow night. But it's so important for you all to be engaged, because I don't want to give you some really bad numbers, but all these numbers are going to affect you all before you ever walk out that door to graduation. The country's in bad shape when it comes to spending. A couple of weeks ago, without my support, there was a vote to increase the national debt ceiling to $14.3 trillion. Now, it's kind of hard to figure out what $14.3 trillion is, but it's kind of easy to put this way. I serve on one of my committees, the Budget Committee, and when the Congressional Budget Office Director was testifying before us a couple of weeks ago, and I was looking through his testimony real quick, it was time for me to ask him a question. As I'm looking at this, am I reading this right, that if all of these scenarios come to fruition, as you're saying, that by the year 2020, now, for you all, you're all 18? Okay, figure that when you're 28 years of age, the United States government, on the good side, will be paying $2 billion a day for interest on the debt. $2 billion a day. And that's on the good side, and I'm going to tell you it's going to be much higher than that. So the problem with that is that everybody in this room is going to be paying on that debt. You didn't incur it. Here's the thing. Somebody else did this. This is a voting card that we use in Congress. And when the votes are called, you put the card in the slot, and you got a couple buttons to press. You press yay, turns green, nay, red, or yellow, present. You only get to vote present once in a while. But last year, I could have used this card and put $1 trillion in one vote on top of your head. That was a stimulus bill. It's going to cost over $1 trillion right now to pay that thing back. So we didn't have the money. We just borrowed. But who did we borrow it from? We borrowed it from you. And you know what we're all hoping? The folks that did this, they're hoping that you can pay this back. Because I tell you what, if you pull this credit card out, which is my personal credit card, I don't think there's anybody in their right mind in Congress that would put this card in a slot and say, I'm going to put myself in debt $1 trillion. But boy, they use the other card frequently, and it worries me. Because if you are not engaged, let me ask this. How many of you are registered to vote? Raise your hands up. Okay. I want everybody that didn't raise their hands up to look around. No, keep your hands up. If you want to be engaged in this process and have a say what's going to be going on in the future, you have got to get registered to vote. That's the #1 priority. I remember when I was in high school in Bowling Green, back then the primary was in June. My 18th birthday was in April. I found out I could register and vote for that June primary, and I've never missed an election since. It was in 1974. But it's so important that you get engaged, because there's too many people in Washington that do this. They think that you don't care. They don't think that you're going to worry about owing $14.3 trillion, or by possibly in 10 more years, that debt will go up to just $25 trillion. Who's got $25 trillion laying around? Because here's what's going to happen. We have to borrow that money. And we borrow that money, we have to go overseas now. Our biggest credit, take a guess who our biggest creditor in the world is.
China.
China. We owe them, in public debt right now, $800 billion. Now, if you take in what else they owe, some other paper here in the United States, we owe them $2 trillion. spending is going on and on and on. But the problem is, it's going to fall on you all to pay it back. Because at some point in time, you're going to go to college, you're going to want to go get a job, and we're in tough times right now. But if we're in a situation where we keep borrowing this money, and the federal government's borrowing, that means private businesses won't have the money to borrow to help their businesses, which means a few years, it hasn't been that long ago, back in 1981-82, we had 21.5% interest rates in this country. Everything was shutting down. People couldn't find jobs. People couldn't go out and get a loan. And so it's going to get really, really difficult on you. And I think that's what's been missing in this whole equation in Washington for the last 10 years. They're not thinking about the next generation that's going to be out there, that's going to need to get a job or go to college. And then also, when you go to college, you have your student loans. How are you going to pay them back if you don't have a job? And that's why I say you got to be really actively engaged. Because if you're not engaged, they're going to think in Washington that, hey, we don't hear from any of you. We don't hear anything from you. So I guess they think what we're doing is fine. And the problem that we've had in this country over the years, we've had too many people say, you know what, nobody listens to me in government, so I might as well not be involved. I might as well not be involved in it at all. And several years ago, back in 1996, when I ran and got elected to the Ohio State Senate, I was at a meeting over in one of my eastern counties that night, and it was for U.S. Congress, State Senate, State House. And years ago, when I was much younger, people would all show up. You'd fill a high school gymnasium. That was the entertainment pretty much. There was no Nintendo and everything else, but people came. They wanted to know who their county district candidates were, all the way up to maybe the United States Senate, U.S. Congress, or even the governor. But people would come. And through the years, more and more people said, you know, I'm too busy. I'm not going to do that. I'm not getting involved. Blah, 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 blah. And, you know, it doesn't make any difference. So my vote doesn't matter. So what's happened that we watched all these people start to fall off. In 1996 was interesting because I was at a high school before this was supposed to occur. So I pull into the high school parking lot. It was a large school, and the whole parking lot was full. I couldn't believe it. I thought, the whole community's here. This is like the old days. Well, I couldn't find a place to park, and I was getting nervous. I was going to be running late, so I finally found a place. I ran up to the school, got in the wait a minute, the problem. I think the boys were having a basketball scrimmage. The girls were having volleyball. The band was practicing. I finally got to the auditorium. And it was huge. And I walked in, and I was walking back out, and I heard somebody call my name. And I said, oh, I thought this started at 6. I guess I'm an hour early. I said, oh, no, we're about ready to start. And I looked around. You know how many people were in that room? 7 people. There were more candidates and their spouses there than people in the audience. And I looked around the room, and I thought, well, I might as well introduce myself to everybody there, all 7 of them. But there are 2 people in particular I wanted to talk to. They were sitting all the way in the back. And I went up and I said who I was, and I said, are you government students? And they said, well, yeah. I said, are you here for extra credit? No, actually, yes. And I said, well, look at it on the bright side. Since you're here, you know, if you're on the bubble, you're going to get